And we're live. It's Friday Facts, episode 30. We've been doing this for 30 weeks now, guys. So bringing you guys the Friday Facts. Couple dramatic shifts in the market this week that we want to talk about. And by shifts, we mean it's been hot, it's gotten hotter. So as for my friend Jay Marks, without further ado, Andrew, why don't you start us off with the Friday Facts?
Sure. So in the past month, we've had a 1.4 million average sales price in Santa Clara County with a median of 1.175. So the prices are still holding pretty hot. The current sale to list price ratio is 110.4%, which is way higher than we've seen for most of the year. Between April and September, we were seeing it hover around 106%. Then October and November, we were edging up to 108%, which we thought was crazy. And now it's over 110%, which is kind of unheard of.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Zaharra, you going to finish them off?
Yeah, so I mean, in addition to that, we're looking at only 599 total active listings from December 1st to the 7th. So I think that speaks to why the prices are so high. We're super low on inventory, and we're still looking at 9 days to sell as a median. So they're going quick.
So basically, if we took this back to high school economics, supply and demand, we got very little on the market. It's getting worse. Mm-hmm. Prices are jumping. I think you guys probably may agree with me on this one, but if I were to tell you guys that the one of all these facts that we've been doing, we know this 30 weeks, but even before that, we always watch the statistics of the market. And if I were to tell you like the one factor that I think tells you, just how hot the market is, and I think it really correlates to what is happening if you're out there writing offers, if you're selling your home. The one statistic we do that really tells us how red hot the market is, it's probably that list to sale price ratio. Would you guys agree?
Right, definitely. And the fact that it's kind of taken such a dramatic jump so recently is purely indicative of the fact that we have maybe less than half the inventory we had on the market last year. We didn't have that much on inventory last year, so people are just clamoring and bidding up things to kind of, not ridiculous levels, but definitely levels we haven't seen in quite a while.
Now, obviously, the other kind of big current event we're having going on out there now is everyone's talking about this, the tax plan that got, I think it got pushed through the Congress, right? So
it got pushed through the Senate,
the House,
or not the Senate, the House, and the Senate, and now they have to reconcile. So they've been pushed through both houses kind of independently, their own versions, and I believe right now they're reconciling between the two.
So are you guys, as you're talking to clients and people out there, I know I'm having some conversations, are you guys finding that's on the minds of your buyers? Are they buyers and sellers out there? Are they thinking about it?
I definitely had buyers ask me about it and ask me what my thoughts were in terms of how it'll affect the market. Because at least in Santa Clara County right now, my thinking is that really what's driving things is such a huge lack of inventory on the market, so that even though the tax reforms or changes, whatever you want to call them, will definitely take some people out of the market, I still think that there are so many more people in the market buying that the few listings that are out there will still get bid up. So in my mind, while it takes people out of the market, I don't think it necessarily has as dramatic of a downward shift as some people are fearing.
So, I mean, maybe you might agree with me on this or feel this, but this is like, it might be like, in a situation here, we're seeing, 10 plus offers on most listings. If you have somebody that's conservative, then they might, maybe if there were going to be 12 offers, now there's 10 offers, we lost the bottom two who are already conservative, right. But the people that are really aggressive and out there just really want a home maybe aren't as concerned about it.
Exactly. So, and that's my thinking. Time will tell, obviously, what will actually play out. But at least because of current numbers, as if we're not, unless we see a dramatic, the one thing that could shift is possibly having more people who are on the fence about staying in the area. Maybe if some of those people leave California, therefore opening up some inventory, that might make a shift in the market. But from the perspective of what we're seeing right now, we have such little inventory. Unless that changes, I don't really see housing prices going down significantly.
So bottom line I'm hearing from you is it's an inventory driven market right now. Just strictly supply and demand. It's kind of supply and demand is sort of mowing over everything.
Yeah, and it's so skewed in terms of low inventory that even with the reduction in demand, the supply is so tight it doesn't matter almost.
I mean, I have a client that I've been working with that has been shopping in Milpitas. and Milpitas, which I historically have seen to have 40, 50, 60 active listings. I mean, Milpitas is bouncing between like 13 and 16 listings. You know, one or two come on, they sell off, they come on, they sell off. And a lot of the inventory in Milpitas, you know, even though you say you look at Milpitas, you're like, okay, well, you got, you know, of the say, if today I looked and there were 14 active listings, I didn't check this morning, but I've been checking pretty regularly. If there's 14 active listings, you know, of that, probably 8 or 9 of them are the type of inventory that sits, and they're, you know, either overpriced. There's several houses in Milpitas that are over the $2.5 million mark, which, you know, Milpitas is not a $2.5 million market, so you've got these large homes, so that you almost pull those out. So really, in the inventory that would typically sell quickly in Milpitas, we're seeing like maybe 3 to 4 a week. So, you know, I mean, then that's instead of, you know, the typical, you know, maybe 10 to 15 a week would be coming on that would turn. And so what we're seeing very few coming on, and what I'm noticing, very few houses coming on. Those houses that are sellable inventory are selling, and then the other stuff that's sort of outlier type inventory, the larger homes, the multi-million-dollar homes in Milpitas, which is not typically a multi-million-dollar market, those are sitting, and those may sell. But, you know, a $3 million home in Milpitas, even if it's worth it, might take 5, 6, 7 months to sell. You know, whereas your average 1,500 square foot single family home is going to be gone in a week. But we're not seeing 1,500 square foot single family homes coming on. Zaharra, you got any input? I know a lot of your clients right now have been going more towards the Sunnyvale Peninsula area, so that's where you've been seeing more action. What are you seeing out there?
Like we've been talking about, just super tight inventory, still multiple offers. Things are being listed for X amount, and they're going like $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 over. So, but I wanted to make a point about, you know, we're talking about the sale to list ratio is pretty high right now, but actually for our sellers, we've been able to get them more than that consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this year
all of our listings have.
Our average for the year is about 117%. So for the average of 110, we've been coming out, you know, pretty far ahead of the average at 110.
And it was lower before for most of the year. Since April, it was about 106. So when it was 106, we were still, you know, outperforming them by double, sometimes triple.
That's what I was thinking when you were talking about. I was like, Botcher team's been beating that actually for a while.
Yeah, no, we definitely have been. Well, you know, that's part of our marketing plan. We tell, you know, we work with, when you guys work with us, we definitely are out there, you know, doing everything we can to get you the maximum price. And yeah, no, so we definitely have been beating the averages, and we've talked about that on several shows. So thank you, Zaharra, for pointing that out. You guys have, so aside from that, you guys have anything else you want to kind of throw out there? I mean, I know we kind of made the point about what's going on in the market, but anything else out there? You know, the big things right now, it's inventory and it's the Trump tax plan. Those are
right.
Kind of
well,
things.
The last piece, you know, always good to go over. We do expect by sometime next year for interest rates to rise at least 1%. We're planning for that. Our lenders have been telling us that the government's going to buy less mortgage-backed securities, and as a result, you know, interest rates are definitely going to go up. So if you're, you know, kind of on the fence about timing, that would be another reason to kind of move faster rather than slower.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's interesting with our market, the way it's been, it seems to me that as prices are rising, you know, interest rates have had a minimal effect, and in fact, it's actually an economic principle that's been proven before. If the interest rates go up but the economy is strong, prices actually rise. So, you know, it would have to take a pretty dramatic, the economy would have to shift, but what happens is if interest rates now, which are bouncing, you know, high 3s, low 4s, and they're kind of, you know, they're bouncing between, you know, moving up 1/8 or down 1/8 or up 1/4, you know, there'll be a little bit of bouncing there. But if they go up a full percent, but even then what we found historically, and I've seen it, you know, a couple times before, if the economy's like it is now and the buyers are buying and we still have low inventory, in fact, a bump in interest rates, if anything, is actually going to stimulate people to come out and really want to buy, because then they're going to, sort of out of a fear of loss that potentially if they have to buy at 4.75, well, they don't want to buy at 5.75 because of what a dramatic difference that makes. I don't know, do you guys kind of agree with that?
Definitely. No, yeah, I agree with that completely.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, this has been Friday Facts. It's the Botcher team. Thank you guys for tuning in and for hitting the like button. I've seen several people hitting it. I'm going to let Andrew look up real quick and hit the video. But tune in next week. We'll see you guys. Thanks for tuning in for episode 30.
Bye, guys.